Hey guys, welcome back.
We're back.
We're back.
Did you miss us?
You better.
We're twins, by the way.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell, clearly.
I think it's fraternal.
Yeah. Biggest hater. Anyways, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About It, a Christian podcast to talk about things not traditionally talked about regarding culture, church, Jesus, religion, Christianity, and just everything that's not talked about. Yeah. I am your host for today. My name is Meilyn.
I'm Keilyn.
And I'm Gaby.
And today we're going to do Just of the Day. No, Just of the Day. Just of the Day. What are you drinking today? What's in the cups? The cups aren't empty, okay?
Yeah,
we actually have drinks, you know, between takes.
Gaby, you go first.
Gaby, what do you have?
Mine is
dirty water.
The pepper of the doctor. Dr. Pepper.
Who's Pepper?
Dr.
Cut the cameras.
Oh, sorry. Hello.
So, try again. Take two.
It's Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Keilyn, what are you drinking?
Best drink ever.
That's debatable.
No. One of my New Year's resolutions is to not drink soda and like sugary drinks overall, even though I'm drinking a sugary drink. But, you know, one thing at a time. I'm doing no sodas. Damn, I wanted a Dr. Pepper today.
Girl, that Dr. Pepper, that first drink.
Like that crisp. Oh, it's so good.
Dr. Pepper's okay. I'm a Coke girl. However, I do have a Fruit Punch Arizona.
Best
very
Arizona
good
flavor.
It's actually, I've never tried it.
It's like fruit punch, but it also has a little bit of like grape juice to it.
It's just
really good. It has a lot of dimension to it.
When it's cold, yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
Try it.
You should try it.
I'm drinking a mango Arizona. The best flavor in my
opinion. It's like number 2
or like 5.
And
it's number 2. I don't know about
opinion. I think it's pretty good.
It's an
opinion. It's just
if you have the opinion, come over and let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Opinion-based conversation.
Exactly.
We want you guys to feel like you're part of us here.
Yeah.
So if you have any comments, suggestions, topics to talk about,
questions
guests
too,
if you want to come on, any questions, anything
you can
like
reach
that,
out too.
Drop a
link
comment
them down below.
Yeah, we'll put our socials on here.
Yeah, our socials are not here. I don't know how to do that yet.
Down below. Yeah.
In the what's that box called?
The description box.
In the description box.
Yeah.
Hit follow.
Like subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Please. And share with your friends.
Yeah, and share. So that we're all part of the conversation.
Yeah. And if you have any topics, like I said, drop them down there.
Down below.
Yeah.
Drop the bomb. That's what I said on accident. Sorry.
Anyways,
so I wanted to start the podcast like we have been starting out for the past couple episodes. What has been something good that happened this week?
Gaby, you go first.
I'll go first. I had class on Monday. I'm going class from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. My last semester, hopefully.
Yeah,
it will be. But it actually went pretty well. Yeah. So, yeah, those classes are so long. They're like 3-hour classes each one.
Yikes.
It's only 3 classes that I'm taking, but it's like 9 a.m., another one at noon, and another one at 6 p.m. So I'm there all day, no breaks, sleeping in my car. Please don't rob me. But, you know, so it's like a little bit harder. But honestly, this week it wasn't that bad.
That's good.
It wasn't that bad. So something very happy to be about. Yeah.
Nice.
I guess I'll go next. Despite like contrary belief, I'm actually really happy about this weather. I do like.
She's a wee bit chilly.
Right now, I am cold.
Too.
It is cold in this room.
It is so cold.
However,
should have brought a jacket.
I'm struggling.
I like the cold because like you can like wear as many sweaters and be comfortable. I love being comfortable.
No, I can't. I gotta disagree. I've been wearing the same 3 sweaters the past week.
That seems like a you problem.
It seems like you stole my sweater from my closet.
Ooh, let's
talk about it. Let's talk about it.
That's we're not gonna talk about that.
Siblings.
However, I
They're
do
siblings,
really.
by the way.
Yeah. If you couldn't tell,
We're the actual siblings.
Yeah.
Dear.
Anyways, but yeah, I do really like this colder weather. I just like being warm, but like, I don't know.
I've been making
Like,
hot
you
chocolate
looking
every
for
night.
Girl, what?
Yeah, it's so
hot
good.
chocolate is so good.
No.
Damn, that's crazy.
The one thing I don't like the sun's setting so early.
That is
But
true.
we're here to talk about
You
the
know
good
what?
things of this
Yeah.
week. So
Exactly.
on to the next. Gabby, one good thing.
I'm gonna be thankful for my work friends.
Okay.
Aw.
Yeah, like
That's a big part of going to work.
Girl,
Liking the people you go to work with.
Yes, I work overnight, and sometimes you really just be when 3 a.m. hits.
Ooh.
You just want to take a little quick nap in the corner because there's literally nobody
In
there.
the corner. You just stand.
Literally, like a. But like they'll literally like I take my lunch.
Closer
Sorry.
to the mic. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Thanks,
No.
Mom. So at 1 o'clock is my lunch, technically 1 a.m. So
That's
they'll
insane.
come up. I know it's insane, but I'm used to it. It's like my 1 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like flipped.
Interesting.
Usually my shift lead is the one that's supposed to only come up, but everybody, like my other friend from downstairs in the emergency, the 2 security guards, they'll all come up and just like chill with me and play Uno. And
Hey, you guys play Uno?
yeah,
That's so
literally we can
funny.
play Uno, and it's only supposed to be 30 minutes, but they'll spend like an hour and a half there up there with me just talking.
Dang.
And it's crazy. And then when they leave and I'm feeling a little sleepy, the housekeeper that I made friends with too, I have her number, everything. She comes by and starts talking to me and just sit there and chill.
Aw.
The Huck in the back will come
The
out.
what?
And the Huck. It's like the
I was like, a hawk? There's a hawk coming out. Like,
a literal hawk will just come and squawk at me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No.
Hey.
That's different.
No, Miss Amy, we love her here. She would come from the back, and just come up and sit and talk, make me crack up, and it's
You
just
awake.
keep me awake, and it's like an every night thing, and I just love it, and
It's
they're
like besties.
amazing. They're my besties, so shout out to y'all.
Oh, yeah. Lots of love. Lots
Yeah.
of love. So let's get into it. So do you want to say, since you were so excited to say it before, what we're talking about today?
I mean, hey, you had the
Yeah.
perfect lead in.
yeah.
We're talking about friendships.
We're talking about friendships.
Mhm.
And I feel like, again, there's so much that you could talk about within
There is.
friendships. And
There's so much.
Different
So-
types of friendships too.
no, very
Mhm.
true. Very
Yeah.
true. Because work friendships and outside of work friendships are
Yeah.
not the
School
same.
friendships,
Yeah.
Yeah.
professional friendships.
Mhm.
I don't
So
know if that's
church
a thing, but
friendships?
hey.
Yeah, like work friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a lot of
Networking, you know.
besties.
Anyways,
Yeah.
let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into
So,
it.
first question I have for today. Obviously, we all have our friendships, like you said, work friendships, things like that. Are all your friends Adventists or Christians?
No.
No, I don't think so. Majority of yours probably. 'Cause
I think
you're
majority
still
of
in high
mine-
school.
S-
Oh,
yeah.
she goes to an
I
Adventist
do go in
high
Adventist
school, so it's a little harder.
I
to-
grew up in Adventist education, so it is a little harder. However, I do have a few that aren't necessarily like
100.
100%. Not 100%,
Yeah,
but
we
like
said that last time, 100%.
it's like they're not.
as into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't really care for it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because they're not really, I'm not trying to justify their actions. They might most likely just be like really comfortable in what they are right now.
Or they're just searching for something else. They're
Yeah.
not. That's
And that's okay.
they're in a different
That's
season.
okay.
That hey,
Yeah.
teach
In a
their own.
All
different
power
season.
to them. God loco con
All
su
power.
tema.
Cada loco con su tema.
God loco con su tema,
Mhm.
right?
So that kind of leads into my second question. Are there any differences that like you see between your Adventist friendships and your non-Adventist friendships? Like,
The only difference that I would see is the way we perceive religion. That's
Okay.
literally it.
Okay.
Because my friends, I'm not saying that they have to be a certain way. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not like this, no. Like, if we all have the same vibe, the same, like, willingness to make others feel comfortable, to make them feel good.
It's like
to
what you look for.
uplifting. Yeah. And the only thing would honestly be religion. And even then, if we're not really a topic that we talk about, but we are just aware that we might have different like religious beliefs, and we don't like clown.
They respect it.
They respect it.
Yeah.
This clowning is a term, you know, Gen Z term. So if you don't know it,
we're on
sorry.
the cusp of Gen Z.
Yeah.
Barely making it in.
Barely.
If we even qualify anymore.
You
I
do.
think we do, yeah.
You're- yeah.
Just the older.
You think so?
It's
Just
not
the
even-
older part?
It's
Yeah.
not how old you are. It's the year you were born in. You know that, right?
Yeah,
it
so
is
we're like
how
in
old you
still
are.
the older.
Because
No,
how
it's
old
the
you are is
year.
also the year you're born in.
Yeah. Hi, Keilyn. It's okay.
Okay, no, but like
Only 17.
okay, but like just because I'm 17 now doesn't mean when I'm 25 I'm in a different
yeah, no, we
generation.
understand.
That's, okay,
No, no,
that's
no.
what it sounded like. I was
No,
like,
because we're like right on, like,
Right in the beginning.
I'm 22,
Like
she's
the
21,
cutoff.
so we're like at the cutoff, I
Yeah.
think, of like
From
so
Gen Z
basically
to
you're
being
old.
millennial.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Back to friendship.
Anyways,
yeah.
But yeah, I think something that I see that's like different, I guess, would be like we don't talk about religion. My friendships that aren't exactly Adventist, we're not talking about it.
No, because and it's not like
It's
a
not
bad
negative.
thing.
Yeah, it's not like I go out of my way not to talk about it. It's just
it doesn't come up, and even if it does come up, they tend to be curious about our religion and
they respect it.
Well, because
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you,
yeah,
how do you go about like church and stuff? Because we're at church majority of our weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, and we're here
and
on
we
Sundays
still want to
now.
hang out with our friends too.
Exactly. So how do you go about that?
Definitely be respectful of it. They'll try to make. Oh, excuse me.
Ooh,
Nope.
That Dr. Pepper.
the dirty water.
Aye, but it's yummy. Chucky. Sorry. So my friends, they are respectful of it. They try to make time, during the week, which is very hard since I work overnight. Or if not, like we'll do a Sunday, or even then, sometimes they'll just, sometimes they'll come. My friend came once, and I have other friends who have come. I had my certain friends, they'll be like curious about what I do, like what's going on, and I'll explain, and then I'll encourage them, say, hey, like whenever you want.
So for those of you that don't know, we are associate directors in the way that our church works, which means we come out with programs and do that. So
for Friday night,
we're still involved.
You had
with
your
the
program
church
a couple
directory.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
How did you tell your friends about that? Like, did they ask? Like, because during that week, I'm sure you were very busy and having to plan a lot of things
That week was very overwhelming, overstimulating.
I can imagine.
And just like a lot of things.
Did any of them like ask you? Did you invite any of them to come to
I did reach out to some.
Okay.
One specifically, but I understood that she has this thing with religion that I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let God take care of it.
I'm just gonna let her,
be a good influence, but not.
Exactly. And that week was just the program itself, thank God, it like came out really, really well.
Yeah,
That's good.
Was really good.
Yeah,
you weren't.
I wasn't there,
yeah.
but
I
was
think
there
it
in
came out
spirit.
really well. Like it flowed. My part flowed, and the program itself flowed.
Yeah.
So I've heard a lot of good reviews on it. So thank you, Alina. She's the director.
Shout out to Alina.
Yeah, you're her secretary.
Yeah.
I
I'm her
guess.
secretary.
Well, you're also secretary.
Technically, I'm
So
more
I'm
of
the
like
only
the general
associate
secretary.
Yeah, but I'm the only
I think so.
associate, I guess.
Yeah, associate director.
But we're all involved in it. Like heavily
we're all
involved.
part of it.
Yeah,
even if you are a secretary, you're still doing a huge part for the program or anything.
And all thanks to like Alina and people who actually pulled through and like said, "Yeah, I'll do it." Like shout out to all of you guys too. And yeah, well, I'm sorry. What was the question?
The question was, did any of your friends like ask you about what you're doing on that Friday? Like when you were stressed out, like
they asked
like why do you have to do a program on Friday? Type of.
Yeah, they
because there are people that ask those questions. They don't know, and it's like we were raised into it basically because we've been doing this for
they love to ask why. They love to ask like why, what exactly is it? And it's like no, it's just mainly
it's like curiosity.
By the youth for the people, and it's
that's a good way to put it. By the youth for the people.
Yeah, it's almost like
for the community.
Yeah, sounds like that one commercial.
For their wallet,
Milan y Milan.
Neither of those.
Or is it?
I'm pretty sure it's like
yeah, that one.
Anyways,
sorry guys. Sponsor. Just kidding.
No, but they ask, and they also they have a weird way of knowing when I'm really stressed, and they'll like text me like, "Hey, like how you doing?" And I'll just like spill everything, and they'll be like, "Oh my goodness, like I know you have that going on. Like if you want to meet up, let's talk about it. Like
let's talk about it.
And like I'm here for you. Like whatever you want to say, just say it. And then when I do, they'll like always be so curious, so attentive, and which. That is why I love my friends so much because they are actually
shout out you guys who are Gabby's friends.
Yeah, including them. Shout out to y'all.
But yeah, okay. So I guess
what? How about you?
Well, I haven't had my program yet, but
no, not in that case.
Have you invited your
have
friends
I invited my friends? I think I have. They've come in the past.
Yeah,
maybe not like in general for like my program specifically, but like for events that I've had at church, I did tell them to come. You guys know who you are. To when we sang for the Christmas. Oh, you weren't there. When we sang, you weren't there.
Sorry,
it was just me. When we sang for the Christmas concert in the choir, because we were hanging out the day before, and I was like, I gotta go to church. I got prep. Rewind. I got church practice. I got to practice for the choir because we were a mess in that moment. And they're like, "Girl, you're in the choir." I was like, "Yeah, I'm in the choir. I gotta go rehearse right now." Like, you know, and in that sense, they're curious. I think they're very, not that they need to be, but like they're very accepting of like my roles in church.
Very
I don't
respectful
think they
about it
fully,
too.
Understand how much like we actually do for church.
But they're down. They're really down for
But
anything.
they are. They are
They're down to listen to.
Exactly. So they were like, once I told them like what was going on, they're like, "Oh, okay. Like, you know, we can leave dinner early." It was like an early dinner. And we were like, "Oh, we could leave dinner early, whatever it may be."
I may not have had like those like experiences with like people that with friends that aren't in the church, but I have with like friends that that don't necessarily go to our church, that are from
like
a different
Hispanic church.
Yeah, that go to like a different
ethnicity.
church that with a different culture. So like I mean, when I say like, "Oh, I'm stressed because I have to do a program," they're like,
"What's that?
What program? Like, what type of program? Like, don't other people?" I was like, "No, well, I like," and you kind of explain it.
Which, to be fair, we had no idea. I mean, growing up in a Hispanic,
we just assumed
church,
that
very
like
much
normal.
Cuban, very much like
predominantly Cuban.
Yeah, no, I would say like I didn't even know necessarily what it was.
Yeah,
until they throw you into that role and they're like, "Hey, you gotta do this program this Friday and come up with an idea." And it's like, do your own thing. Find people who do.
Who's gonna help? What do I do?
Well, maybe we should explain it a little bit better.
We could explain it a little.
Basically, as associate and secretary directors of our church, what we do is Friday night programs. You could do whatever you want, to be honest. Whether it's like an acting, like mini plays,
like a little skit,
a song service. We do
a concert,
or like fire.
Basically,
pits
there's a pair. There's pairs every Friday that do.
So
with like the associate and the secretary.
And it's like once a trimester. So you only get 4 Fridays. And you basically host a Friday night here
at Vespers, which is it's really cool because it's really like open to do like kind of like whatever you want.
And it's by the youth of the church.
Yeah. So it's
by
more
the youth.
Targeted for us, I would say.
It is targeted for the youth, but it is an opening for like everybody.
Yeah.
But it's mainly
everyone's welcome
for the youth, you know, to come in and like also help out and be a part of.
And also honestly like it's interesting to see how creative people can get because even with the skits like
I would never be able to write a skit or to write a skit.
Aliena, she
ate that up.
She popped off.
Yeah.
And even not just Aliena, there's so many people that like just
Jose does a lot of
he did a good one too.
Yeah,
it's crazy to me because like how do you just sit down and then like start
writing?
This person says
maybe
this
because we aren't like us. I'm not the type to do a skit in my own program. I respect their style. Love to see it. For me personally, I like a little bit more interactive things going on.
And more
so
like
for me to think of them, like they're sitting down and writing an entire script of who's going to say what and like, you know, like things like that. I'm like, wow, good for you.
They really write out the dialogue. Like, word by word. And it's like, wow.
Maybe we should make a movie. You know, I mean, start a film industry.
Some people have. Some people have.
It shows how creative you can get with these programs and how different programs can reach different people.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I think that's a big point.
Which different people in our friendships.
Which all of that kind of I understand other people's confusion as to like what exactly we do on a Friday night because sometimes like they'll be like, oh, so what are you gonna do at those Vespers and what are you gonna say? Because it changes. Everybody does something different, which is so cool. Because
for the most part, they do plays though.
They do.
There's
a lot. There's interaction. There's more interactive things. A lot of discussions, fun little games and stuff. Like it's interesting to see what people do.
Yeah. No. I think that's a good thing to have that creative liberty to do whatever you want to do. And I think at the end of the day, each different style reaches someone different. Yeah. And I think that's the important part. Being kind, like we said.
And at the end of the day, every program will have a message.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's up to you to interpret it the way you want to.
Yeah. To accept the message in general.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, it's all about Jesus.
Amen.
It's all about Jesus.
And Friendships.
So going back to friendships, kind of went on a little tangent. But is there any different dynamics you have in those friendships? Like, is there
dynamic meaning?
Like, do you feel like you can't talk to them about religion or Jesus or anything like that in general?
No. Surprisingly enough, I can.
Okay.
Like I can. Like for a certain friend, they do not really subscribe to the idea of a certain like. Not religion? A certain, like, a god. A god. Mm-hmm. They believe more into the universe.
Deity? Okay.
They believe, exactly, deity. Mm-hmm. They believe more in the universe and, like, crystals and stuff like that. Like, that's a whole other, not religion, but just a whole other
belief.
Genre.
Mm-hmm. It's a different belief.
Yeah, different belief. Exactly. Not genre, belief. And even then, like, we have those different, like, views of different things that we believe in. Mm-hmm. We still, like, I also respect her stuff. They'll respect my things. I'll say, like, oh, like, I'm feeling this way because of this, and that. She's like, oh, like, have you talked to, like, have you prayed about it? Have you, like, done this? And even for her, when she's going through stuff, I'll be like, oh, did you do this? Did you, like, go up to your spot and, like, you know, talk it out with
your thing?
Whatever, your thing. Like, it's actually very, very good. And it's not because of, like, it's not bad because of our beliefs. It's just the person itself. Mm-hmm. They're just so open, so willing to, like, listen, learn, so willing to intake, and just, it's amazing.
I think
I'm just so grateful for
that's
her.
The most, like, beautiful thing about knowing who
you're
you're surrounding.
Sorry,
you called her out.
I did. Yeah.
I think that's why it's important to surround yourself with people who, like, are respectful. You know?
I think that's a big part of it.
Because I know there's probably other people that have the same beliefs as your friends, but don't respect your religion.
But I think that's a good point, because I think we look for a lot of respect in people, and sometimes we don't even give them that respect back to be able to, if they believe something different, that's okay. You know, and, like, I have to respect them as much as they respect me for believing what I believe, for going to my church, for doing this and that. And I feel like a lot of times we forget that it's a two-way street. Like, if you want to be respected, you got to respect
the
also.
Bible says, do unto others as you would like to be done to you.
Yeah, literally.
So it's, even though they may not believe the same thing we do, we should still treat them the way Jesus would treat other people, with kindness and love and respect.
Because I also have a friend, and they may not necessarily believe in the same thing I do, and I may not believe in everything that they believe. But we still have great conversations. We still do things together. We can still be friends without believing necessarily in the same thing. I think you can
still talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
And, like, even if you guys do talk about it, there's no, like, bad blood at all. There's no, like, oh, you're
and
wrong,
still willing
right.
to help you with everything you need.
Exactly.
You know?
And there's some friends that have, like, had our beliefs and then just started believing something else. But even then, we're still really good friends. Or, like, even if we're not, like, good as friends, even if we do reach out to each other, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing's, like, there's no bad blood. There's no, like,
it goes hatred. To show that, like, your religion doesn't make who you are. It's all about your personality and
your character
and your character.
And your heart.
That's what shows.
So that's goes on to my next question. How can you preach to them? How can you be Jesus to them? How can you show them Jesus without necessarily giving them a sermon? Because this is so random, but I go to UCF, and there's, like, a plaza area. Let's just call it that. And sometimes there'll be, like, those preachers, and they'll be like, you need to repent. Like, you know, like, listen, I just don't think that's the way to
there's go a corner, there's a street corner somewhere down the street, and they
there's a street corner somewhere down the street.
I don't know the street name, but I know exactly where they stand, and they have this poster, and it's like, yes, you're ministering, but is that what Jesus would do?
Exactly.
No, because I had the same experience when I went to Chicago with my friends. We went for Lollapalooza, and there's, like, a little a street, and then, like, the Lollapalooza, like, event place. At that corner, right when you're about to go into Lollapalooza, there's this man with, like, a big microphone and, like, a big, like, speaker. He's like, oh, you guys are dressing up and going to these concerts and like, you guys are gonna go to hell. You guys need to repent. You guys need to tell your friends about it. And it's like, wow, dude. Like,
I mean,
wow.
To some people, maybe that'll work. Maybe that's a wake-up call to someone else.
Yeah, but even then, that's
to me and to those around me,
I know that doesn't work with me.
Yeah, at all.
And going back to your question, how do you minister to people who aren't like you're friends with, and you don't want to kind of like not push a boundary, but you don't want to like
push them into
push your religion on
pressure it onto
pressure
them.
You just do what Jesus did. Jesus still talked in the Bible. He still talked to the Pharisees. He still talked to all those people.
He talked to all the nobodies.
The
ones
no, he did.
No, like
the people who were outcasts, the people who were sick. Like he still went. He went out of his way to show kindness to them, and he never like. I don't want to say never, but he didn't necessarily. He didn't necessarily like preach like if you don't repent now, like you're never gonna go to heaven. Like you're never gonna get healed. He still healed them.
Exactly.
He still loved on them.
Exactly. No, and the way that they like found. He didn't, how you said, he didn't like push himself onto them. They found out about him after that. Not always after that, but just the fact that he did that, and he was I'm not supposedly, because he is the God, the Lord of Lords, like the son that came down to earth. Like he came down to earth. He's supposed to be the King of Kings, and he came down, and he's here helping me when no one else did. Yeah, no, literally. Like that's crazy, and like that just makes me want to like get to know him more. And so the fact that he did that, he at first wasn't it the case that at first he was like telling his disciples to not tell anybody about me. Yeah. Like he was just undercover. He started
very low key. No, he started low key first.
Just giving spine.
And I know there's gonna be people who will pull out, like Jesus went to the temple and flipped the tables and showed this show of anger.
Because it's a temple.
He did, but they had already disrespected him.
Yeah. So
he went out of like that was his way of I don't want to say like showing disrespect. That was his response to it. And either way, like that's the only time Jesus was angry.
Yeah.
Angry with like air quotes. Like with air quotes, like
because that's other than that really to describe it.
Jesus was this kind person. Something about him drew people close to him. Exactly. And a lot of the times
he didn't.
Good point. Yeah.
People followed him, but it's not because he spoke. Like because he said like, you have to follow me because if not, like no,
he never did.
His presence and his vibe was just so like
in our Gen Z terminology.
His vibe, energy,
His energy was just kindness.
No, literally, you know? I think it goes back to what we said again in like the first episode. I think it was that we said kindness is in Adventist or Christian's uniform. You know, and like the one thing that you can always carry with you is your kindness, your heart, and your desire to love Jesus. So what would you do to preach to your friends, or what do you do on like a daily basis to help them? You know, because in my mind, I am not necessarily preaching to them. I'm not telling them, "Hey, Jesus loves you." I'm not doing that. To be honest, I'll be 100% honest again.
Because that's only
there's no right or wrong in what we're saying. I think, and like again, this is our opinions on what
do we do,
and our lives, and what is happening in our day to day. I don't tell my friends, "Hey, Jesus loves you."
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like if I said that would throw them further in this hole that they're in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that by me like giving them a hug, saying, "Hey, I love you," like, you know, thanks for picking me up, or thanks for bringing me snacks, or here I got you this, or here, you know, I thought of you.
I thought of you.
You know what I mean? Or send them a text like, "Hey, happy birthday. I know we haven't talked in a very long time, but you know, I'm still thinking about you. I'm still thinking about you." I think things like that, like show your character, show who you are, and at the end of the day, show Jesus.
Also, another thing that we can also easily overlook that tends to happen to me too is that when I was really just talking about this, like, you know how I had my Friday a couple weeks ago, I was stressing about it. And so I was telling her my worries because of that stress. The stress was being church.
Yeah.
I think we should like, I thought I knocked it over. That we should, when we talk about church, like we have to be careful and like not saying it in a
negative way,
light or in a stressing light.
Yeah.
Because I would be like, oh my gosh, I have to go to church, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. They'll see it as like she's doing it as a
they're
chore.
making her do it.
Like she has to do it. Like she's not doing it on her free will. Like it's not helping her. Like it's just a religion. Like that, we need to be careful of that because it's not in our heads. It's who we are. Yeah. We're just stressing about it because, personally, I like to complain. I'll complain about anything, and so I'm just complaining about that. I'm not complaining just to complain. Well, I am complaining just to complain. But it's just, you know, it's just a part of me that I'd like to express. And it might come off as me seriously being like
negative.
Negative.
Yeah.
And it's not, that's not the case. But to them, it's not they don't see that. They don't see me.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to like maybe they don't understand necessarily. Like
exactly,
we chose to be put in these roles. They asked
said
us.
Yes,
they said,
yeah,
we
said yes,
and we said yes. And I think we do it out of the love that we have in our hearts for the church and for Jesus. Because trust me, I would not be doing this for any other reason. Literally. There's so much more I could do with my time. No, but I think that for those of us that are in it, we understand like your complaints because it is a lot of work. But for those that don't necessarily like come to our church or like know
or are in church at all,
they don't understand that like we're not complaining that we have to do it. We're just complaining. we're just complaining to complain.
But they don't know that.
They don't know that.
We gotta be careful about
a very good point about
it's
what
something
we say.
important. Yeah, and I think it's important to just be intentional about what you say and what you do, and like to not necessarily to who you're saying it to, but like how you present it.
Yeah,
exactly.
The same way that a person who who isn't in the religion could be like turned off about it, someone who's on the verge of leaving
could also
that could also be like
their last straw.
It could be the straw that broke the camel's back.
That's such a funny saying.
It is kind of funny.
No,
but still, it's all about being intentional and knowing and like processing what you're saying first, because at the end of the day, we shouldn't complain.
Yeah.
And it's something that happens.
Again, we are human.
We are human.
We're bound to make mistakes.
I can't fault you. Yeah. I can't fault you for for complaining, because I complain. And literally at the beginning of this episode, we're complaining about the weather.
Yeah, we were.
It's so cold.
We're complaining about how cold it is in here.
Yeah.
It is cold. It is really cold in this room. But we have
at least we're not sweating.
We do have it.
We have this room.
We have the ability to be here.
Stankin' rank. There are these people out there that stink and rank, and thank God that we are not.
Anyways. But yeah, I think being intentional in what we're saying and what we are, like, I think we are projections of the church. I think we are like representations, I guess is the better word.
We represent
of
Jesus.
The church and of Jesus, and like remembering that and like showing that to other people. Like when they see me, I don't think it has to do with how I dress, but maybe the way I'm talking, maybe the way I
character,
act,
actions speak louder than words.
Way louder.
Oh my
goodness! Like it could be in the way you like. Oh my goodness! This could tying back to friendships. When I first became after I became friends with certain people, like I'm sorry about outing you guys with Tiffany and Anissa. When they first like met me and like we started to become friends, like after that they were like, oh, my first impression of you was like you were like cool. No, this is Anissa. Like she thought that I was like
calling her out.
Yeah, whatever. They're like, oh, I thought you were cool. Like I was like low key intimidated by you because of the way you're just like the way you carry yourself. You just seem so like assured in yourself that you just like you would this is a bad word, but it's they call like you seem low key like a B word, and just like leave it out because of the way you carried yourself. Not necessarily like an actual B word. It's like the way you carried yourself. You were confident. You were just like assertive, and this Tiffany thought of that as well. But the way when you first started talking to me, you just seemed like a 180. Like you are so nice. Like you were actually listening to what I was saying, and you actually seemed so genuine. And then Tiffany, I'm not. If I am twisting your words, I'm so sorry, but this is what I remember what you said. Tiffany was like, oh, like I knew you since we know Tiffany since a very long time. And she was like, I knew you were like part of the quote unquote popular crowd. There wasn't really a popular crowd, but apparently there was. There wasn't. She's like,
that's what a popular kid says.
Oh. Girl, sorry. But it was not. So like she's like, I knew you were part of that crowd, but I saw that you would like talk to everybody else. Like you weren't just like being, you
didn't close yourself off.
You didn't close yourself off. You were like always
the way you acted, the way you carried yourself.
And I even I even talked to her too. But like she's like, you talk to anybody, like everybody, and you seem like you can easily just make a conversation, and that was like really cool of you. So that on top of being, they said that I was being nice, that plays into,
it goes to show that like you may look a certain way, you may look Adventist. I think we said this back in the first episode. You may look Adventist, but what you have in your heart, the way you carry yourself, the way you act, again, actions speak way louder than words.
Way louder.
Everything that you say,
you can be perceived a certain way, but
Exactly, but the way you are, exactly. Because I've been said that I look really mean.
Yeah.
And if anyone's met me, I'm like the shyest person. Yeah. I don't like to
shy at first.
Shy at first. I guess.
Until you get comfortable with her.
Because when she gets comfortable.
Yikes.
But you know what I mean? Like what someone may see on the outside doesn't necessarily reflect what I have in my heart. You know what I mean?
That's why there's a saying, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah. Because it also, even if you were to be taught, like you seem perceived as a way, what's in your heart will come out eventually. Yeah. No, and they will pick up on that.
Because I'm sure the three of us have, you know, we're getting old, but we've had friendships where people are like, oh yeah, like I trust you. Anyways, we've had friendships, and like maybe you can think about in the past, like where someone has said something to you to your face, and then they go right behind you, stab that knife in your back, and go on and be in a completely different way. So their actions show you what is their true intention in their heart,
true self,
and their true self, and they're truly a hater.
Yeah,
I hate
because I was.
Anyways, we'll keep that for another episode.
Another episode, another
Tune
topic.
in next time.
And if you want to talk about it,
let's talk about it. No issue.
Yeah.
So again, going back, how can you bring them to God? I think we kind of like already covered it, but just kind of to recap.
Show kindness.
Show kindness.
Show intentionality.
Intentionality is so.
It's a big
word.
WJD.
What would Jesus do?
Yeah. What would Jesus do?
Have you heard? There's WWJD, but then it's like HWJD.
No, it's HWLF.
Oh,
LF. He would love first.
He would love first. So
Someone
what would
doesn't know her
Jesus
letters.
do? He would love first.
Okay.
You know, and like I think that's like a main point.
That was on Leslie's shirt.
Yeah.
He would love first.
Yeah, because I think that's what we're supposed to do. What would
Shout
Jesus
out Leslie
do?
for having that shirt.
Anyways,
cool shirt.
Not just think about like what would Jesus do, but rather act upon it. And what would he do? He would love first. So what should I do? Love first.
Don't act upon it just because that's what he would do. Genuinely,
feel it in your heart.
Yeah, and if you don't feel it in your heart, don't bother.
And think about it. Yeah.
If you don't feel it in your heart, actually no. Even if you don't feel it in your heart,
do your best.
Try. You know, because then it will build up to you feeling it in your heart.
There's another thing. I don't know where I'm coming up with so many phrases, but it's the fake it till you make it.
Oh, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And
it might sound bad.
Yeah.
Fake it in a way like when you start doing it and you start being kind.
Thinking about your intentions behind it.
And when you start thinking of your intentions, you start feeling it becomes easier to you. It becomes more natural to you.
Yeah.
Not necessarily fake in the way of like you do it, you're nice, like what you're saying earlier, like you're nice to me and then you stab my back in the back. No. Don't be that fake.
I think what you're trying to say is like intentionality.
Yeah.
Like if I need to think about I know people that are like, I need to compliment 3 people today. And they'll go about their day and like compliment 3 people that day. That might be like faking it until you feel it in your heart to like do it without thinking.
Yeah, but even then, that's so like them being nice.
Exactly, that's my point.
It might not be fake. It might be.
It's not like fake
in a way, but they're still being nice.
It's a lot more.
And at least they thought to do it.
Yeah,
exactly. They said, I'm gonna make it my mission to say to compliment people. Like 3 different people today. Like
because some people will wake up and be bitter. And just want to intentionally make it our day. That's a good way. Yes, and it's crazy. But like, if you have that intentionality,
your
heart's already set in the right way.
Place. Exactly.
It's like the Grinch. It'll grow in 3 sizes. Okay. Anyways, next.
Anyway,
next question.
Yeah,
I think that's it. Those are all the questions I had for today.
That's
crazy. You have any more comments?
Be kind.
Be kind. Be nice.
Love on people. No, don't
love on people. Oh, Gabby, what is wrong with you?
It's just more
wear kindness.
Yeah.
Kindness is your uniform.
And harvest your friendships. Like if you feel like they're very valuable,
thanking those around you.
Yes. Gratitude. Being vulnerable.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I think in a lot of times, I commend you because being. Because being vulnerable about your religion to someone who may judge you on it or
it's hard. It is hard.
Who has different beliefs but still having the patience and like the kindness, not kindness, but like the patience, the want
to like be there for you,
like be there for them and explain to them like what you do, like how you do it, why you do it. I think that's something that a lot of people don't have. Like, there's people who can be sassy about it and be like, oh, you didn't know? Like, it's like, it's common sense. Like, there's no need for that.
Yeah, because really it's not common sense.
In a mean world, be kind.
Yeah, in a sinful world, like, it's, you will stand out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and like I also want to. I don't know if it's just like it's kind of too late, but dang, I just had it in my brain. Like I wanted to talk about a different side of friendships, but I can't think of it anymore, unfortunately.
So we'll keep it on
hey,
for
we'll
next
keep it for another episode.
time.
Friendships part 2.
Anyways, I was your host for today. Again, my name is Meilyn. I'm here with
Gaby
and
Keilyn.
And we hope you like today's podcast. Again, if you're interested in any topics, any questions that you may have, you can DM us. You can follow us. TikTok. If you want, feel free. TikTok is going to be probably the best place to reach us.
But if not, on Instagram as well.
Please follow us. Yes. Subscribe. We'll leave our socials in the description box below.
Yeah, and just really.
That YouTuber.
No, but really, like, this is a safe space, guys.
Yeah, we really want to.
We are not going to expose you. Like, if you want to DM us personally.
Other than Tiffany and Anissa.
Yeah. Now you calling them out.
No.
Yeah, but if you have any questions, we're not gonna
expose you.
And honestly, we're all learning together.
We are.
Exactly.
And that's the purpose, to have a conversation that's not typically talked about.
And after today's episode, I'll be kind.
I'll be nicer.
That's gonna be my mission.
I hope you're nicer too.
This week,
we'll see.
That'll be my mission.
People will be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, leave a comment down below. Please like and subscribe our video.
Please share.
What are you starting? Please.
No, but share. Yeah, just get our word out there.
Yeah. And yeah. Anyways, don't forget.
Yeah.
God made you special.